today we are celebrating or evaluating the corporate sector in terms of how much money they are giving for these social causes. So I'm very pleased to see this ceremony take place where we recognize all our top corporates who give money and we want to appreciate them so that they continue to deliver good besides making money for the shareholders.
ये particular award जो है ये function जो है ये एक corporate philanthropy awards एक annual feature है PCP का जिसमें ये corporate donors जो पब्लिक लिमिटेड कंपनीज और प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनीज हैं उनमें उनको सेलिब्रेट करते हैं, उनकी गिविंग को सेलिब्रेट करते हैं.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we start the proceedings, you are all requested to rise for the national anthem, please. The Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Shaukat Tareen, Advisor to the Prime Minister on Finance and Revenue, Mr. Zafar Khan Sara Imtiaz, Chairman PCP Board of Directors, Dr. Atiya Inayatullah, Chair PCP Research Committee, Ms. Shazia Maqsood Amjad, Executive Director PCP, prestigious dignitaries, respectable scholars, corporate executives, philanthropists, and Board of Directors PCP. Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening. On behalf of Pakistan Center for Philanthropy, I am absolutely thrilled to welcome you all to the 14th Corporate Philanthropy Awards 2019-20. Without further ado, I would request Mr. Zafar Khan, Chairman PCP Board of Directors, to give his welcome remarks.
Honorable Advisor to the Prime Minister on Finance and Revenue, Mr. Shaukat Tareen, winners of the corporate awards, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum, and a very good evening to all of you, and thank you for being here. I'd like to very, very briefly just tell you what PCP, who we are and what is it's all about. Actually, the PCP's inspiration came from His Highness Dia Khan, who felt that there should be some mechanism to promote indigenous philanthropy. Although it's the 14th award, but we were doing it a few years before the formal award started. So quite laudable, and I think our corporates to be congratulated for making this level of contribution to society. We are asking the government that for these NGOs to do even more, to do more good, they need a supportive environment. They need some place, some institution, some ministry where they can go, where they can share their issues, where they can discuss some opportunities and, sort of try to further improve the environment to make things happen.
Now, I would request Ms. Shazia Maqsood Amjad, Executive Director PCP, to please present the findings of the Corporate Philanthropy Survey 2019-20.
I would like to thank you all for your presence at the event today, reflecting your continuous support and encouragement to PCP's efforts to promote knowledge and awareness about corporate philanthropy in Pakistan. Our special thanks are to Mr. Shaukat Tareen for taking the time out to support and encourage PCP's work on corporate philanthropy. PCP annually conducts corporate philanthropy report and a survey to highlight good practices of giving by the business community. The findings of this report are useful for the government and policymakers to comprehend how best to tap and channelize this potential resource for social development in the country. Based on available information, the significant contributions of top 3 companies are recognized and awarded on 2 yardsticks. Number 1, the volume of giving, and the second as percentage of profit before tax. Our sample survey consisted of 3 categories: public listed companies, public unlisted companies, private listed companies. Sources of data is Pakistan Stock Exchange and Security Exchange Commission of Pakistan. Survey sample for public listed companies was 88%. For public unlisted companies, it was 13.4%. For private limited companies, it was 5%. The key findings also looked at the companies which were engaged in philanthropy. So for public listed companies, from our sample size, we found out that only 53% were giving. So it's an important angle to see why the other half is not giving. So perhaps these are factors that need to be explored. We also want to, through this survey, guide not-for-profits and policymakers for tapping the corporate funds so that they can access and see which corporates are giving and where are they giving, in which area and in which sector. The volume of philanthropy by the corporates was our major finding. We find that it is 16.45 billion. If I further disaggregate it, public listed companies gave 11 billion, the private limited 3 billion, and the public unlisted 2.1 billion. I'll ask Dr. Athiya to come forward and present the report to the Honorable Minister.
May I now request the Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Shaukat Tareen, Advisor to the Prime Minister on Finance and Revenue, to kindly come forward to present the 14th Corporate Philanthropy Awards 2019-20. I would request Mr. Zafar Khan, Chairman PCP Board of Directors, and Ms. Shazia Maqsood Amjad, Executive Director PCP, to join the Chief Guest. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall begin with announcing the top 3 public listed companies by volume of donations. The first award goes to Pakistan Petroleum Limited. I would request Mr. Kamran Sher, Chief Community Development Officer, to please come on stage and receive the award. The second award goes to Oil and Gas Development Company Limited. I would request Mr. Salim Baz Khan, General Manager CSR, to please come on stage and receive the award. We shall now announce the top 3 public unlisted companies by volume of donations. The first award goes to Askari Cement Limited. I would request Mr. Amjad Mahmood, National Sales Manager, to please come on stage and receive the award. Second award goes to Yunus Textile Mills Limited. I would request Mr. Muhammad Hassan Ali Taba, Executive Director, to please come on stage and receive the award. The third award goes to Liberty Mills Limited. I would request Mr. Muhammad Zain Iftikhar, Financial Controller, to please come on stage and receive the award. We shall now announce the top 3 private limited companies by volume of donations. First award goes to Barrett Hodgson Pakistan Private Limited. I would request Mr. Muhammad Feroz Alam, Executive Director, to please come on stage and receive the award. second award goes to Behria Town. I would request Mr. Shahzad Akhtar, Director Coordination and PR, to please come on stage and receive the award. The third award goes to Hilton Pharma Limited. I would request Mr. Shehbaz Malik, Executive Director, to please come on stage and receive the award. We shall now announce the top 3 public listed companies for donations as a percentage of profit before tax. The first award goes to TPL Insurance Limited. I would request Mr. Muhammad Aminuddin, Chief Executive Officer, to please come on stage and receive the award. The second award goes to Ilahi Cotton Mills. I would request Mr. Muhammad Mahfouz Ilahi, Chief Executive Officer, to please come on stage and receive the award. We shall now announce the top 3 public unlisted companies for donations as a percentage of profit before tax. The first award goes to Resham Textile Industries Limited. I would request Mr. Arshad Saeed, Chief Executive Officer, to please come on stage and receive the award. Second award goes to Fast Cables Limited. I would request Major General Retired Mr. Mia Ghulam Mustafa Kosar, Chairman, to please come on stage and receive the award. The third award goes to Pakistan House International. I would request Mr. Aslam Bagia, Manager, to please come on stage and receive the award. We shall now announce the top 3 private limited companies for donations as a percentage of profit before tax. The second award goes to Hilton Pharma Limited. I would request Mr. Shehbaz Malik, Chief Executive Officer, to please come on stage and receive the award. I would request Mr. Zafar Khan, Chairman PCP Board of Directors, to please present a memento to the chief guest, Mr. Shaukat Tareen. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to request our distinguished chief guest, Mr. Shaukat Tareen, Advisor to the Prime Minister on Finance and Revenue, to address the gathering.
We have to recognize PCP's contribution towards this mission. And obviously, this results in the social development of the country. It is a non-profit organization, makes it more important. And I think its contribution, towards the formal philanthropy, also helps, generate more money, in the informal sector as well. I think it's the only organization which certifies organizations. So I think that by itself is credit to them, and they do a damn good job. I was pleasantly surprised that they also do some research, because research is needed so that we find out, which are the segments where, money should go. And I also would like to encourage those corporates which fall, in the 47%, who do not give any, kind of donations. Between 2000 and now, the corporate philanthropy has grown 50 times. So I think that is a great achievement, because PCP has been doing this relentlessly over the last, so many years. This entire thing supports the, sustainable economic development in the country. We obviously cannot just fulfill our duty as a government because paucity of funds. You know that, our tax to GDP, is quite low, and we have to spend, our current expenditures, as a matter of fact, exceed our total tax to GDP. So I think, these efforts by PCP and others to, do social, development is welcome. But I'm also pleased to know that, the overall philanthropy in Pakistan, which includes official and non-official, exceeds 1%. 1%, today's GDP, which is going to be around 54 trillion, is over 500 billion rupees. So that is pretty significant, and it matches countries like, UK, Canada, who are 1.2, 1.3%, and it is twice as much as India. So I think this is credit to Pakistanis who actually give a lot of money. I will be very happy to make sure that we create a focal, point, in the government to help you. And I will be talking to, Sania Nishtar. I think that is the logical place. I'm also very happy that FBR is helping you. We will also be looking at some other tax breaks which we can give. But as you know, we are currently in IMF program, and that may be a little difficult, but we will certainly do that, and also look at other areas of the CSR which the government can help. I really encourage the corporates. I congratulate them for receiving these awards. I encourage the corporates to keep doing more. This is our country.